Hello again, I'm Jennifer. I'm an associate clinical therapist with HD Christian Family Counseling, and today we're going to talk about something we experience sometimes, especially during our teen years: anxiety. It can feel like a huge, overwhelming beast, right? Like your heart's racing and your thoughts are spinning and you just want to disappear. But guess what? You can learn to tame the anxiety beast. Over the next two videos, we're going to explore some super helpful strategy to managing stress and anxiety. Part one is all about understanding what anxiety actually is, because the better you understand it, the better equipped you are to deal with it. Think of anxiety as your body's alarm system. It's designed to protect you from danger. Imagine you're walking down a dark alley and you hear a strange noise. Your body kicks into high gear. Heart beats faster, you become more alert. That's anxiety doing its job. The problem is, sometimes that alarm goes off when there's really no danger, like before a big test, a presentation, or even just hanging out with friends. That's when anxiety can feel overwhelming and disruptive. It's like the alarm is blaring even when everything's okay. Now, there are different types of anxiety. Everyone feels a little anxious sometimes, and that's totally normal. That's totally okay. It can even be helpful. A little bit of anxiety before a game can actually make you perform better. But when anxiety becomes constant, intense, and starts interfering with your daily life, like affecting your sleep, your schoolwork, or your relationships, that's when it's important to take action. So, how do you know if your anxiety is something you should address? Ask yourself these three questions. 1. Do I worry excessively about things? 2. Do I have trouble sleeping? And 3. Do I avoid certain situations because they make me anxious? Or do I feel restless, on edge? Do I have trouble concentrating? If you answered yes to several of these questions, it might be because it's a good time to talk to an adult, a therapist, or a doctor. Remember, there's absolutely no shame in seeking help. It's actually a sign of strength. Think of it like this. If you broke your arm, would you go to the doctor? Well, your mental health is just as important as your physical health. Now, is the good news. There are lots of things you can do to manage anxiety, and that's what we're going to dive into in part 2. We'll be talking about practical strategies that you can use every day to calm your mind and your body. But before we wrap up part 1, I want you to do one thing. Think about just one thing that makes you anxious. Just acknowledge it. We'll be working on strategies to address these anxieties in our next video. That's all for today's video. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in part 2 when we'll be talking about some strategies to anxiety bust.